After the unexpected event at the revival service in Kenema, Emmanuel remained thoughtful and quiet for several days. The pastor's words continued to echo in his mind. "The Lord has chosen you to become a minister." Although the moment had surprised everyone in the church, Emmanuel did not allow excitement or pressure to control his decision. Deep in his heart, he still felt that becoming a pastor was not the path he was ready to take. Emmanuel had always been a devoted Catholic Christian, and his faith had been shaped by the teachings of the Catholic Church since his childhood. One evening, while sitting at home, Emmanuel decided to speak openly with his stepmother about what had happened at the church. She noticed that he had been unusually quiet and thoughtful. Emmanuel explained everything to her. He told her how the pastor suddenly called his name during the prayer session, how the congregation watched him walk forward, and how the choir began singing, "Emmanuel, oh Emmanuel." He described how the pastor declared that God had called him to become a minister. His stepmother listened carefully and calmly. After hearing the full story, she advised him to remain patient and thoughtful about such important spiritual matters. Emmanuel appreciated her advice, but he remained firm in his decision. Respectfully, he made it clear that he was not ready to become a pastor and that he wanted to continue living his life according to the faith and values he had grown up with. Later, Emmanuel decided to call his aunt, Miss Victoria M. Cargbo, the woman who had raised him since he was a baby. She had always been a guiding voice in his life. During their conversation, Emmanuel shared the entire experience with her as well. Miss Victoria listened attentively. She reminded him that sometimes people may say many things about God's calling, but a person must take time to understand his true purpose through prayer, patience, and reflection. Emmanuel thanked her for her wisdom. Even though the event in Kenema had been surprising, he remained confident in his decision. For the time being, he chose to continue his life as a faithful Catholic Christian and not pursue becoming a pastor. After spending the time he had planned in Kenema, Emmanuel eventually returned to Makeni. As he arrived back in the community he had missed so much, he felt a deep sense of peace and happiness. Makeni was a place filled with memories, friendships, and the church community that had helped shape his life. When people in the neighborhood saw him again, many of them were excited. His friends greeted him warmly, and members of the community welcomed him back with smiles and friendly conversations. The children in the community were especially happy to see him. Some of them came running toward him, calling his name joyfully. Emmanuel greeted them kindly, laughing and exchanging warm greetings with everyone. Soon after returning, Emmanuel decided to visit the church compound at Holy Spirit Parish in Makeni. The church had always been a special place for him. It was where he had served as an altar server, participated in youth activities, and strengthened his faith. When he arrived at the parish compound, he met his parish priest, Reverend Father Emmanuel. The priest was very happy to see him again. Their meeting was warm and friendly. They greeted each other with smiles, shook hands, and shared laughter as they talked about how long it had been since Emmanuel had last visited. The priest had always admired Emmanuel's dedication to the church, and he treated him almost like a son. A few weeks later, Emmanuel had the opportunity to sit down and speak privately with Reverend Father Emmanuel. During their conversation, Emmanuel shared the experiences he had gone through in Kenema. He explained everything that had happened at the revival meeting and how the pastor publicly declared that he was called to become a minister. The priest listened carefully as Emmanuel told his story. After hearing everything, Reverend Father Emmanuel remained silent for a moment, reflecting on what Emmanuel had said. Then he looked at Emmanuel and asked him a very important question. He said, "Emmanuel, tell me honestly, what do you want to become in life?" The question was simple, but it carried great weight. Before Emmanuel could respond, the priest added something unexpected. He said, "Whatever you truly want to become, tell me. I will sponsor you and support you throughout the journey." Emmanuel was surprised by these words. The offer meant that someone believed in his future and was willing to help him achieve his dreams. At that moment, Emmanuel realized that life still held many possibilities for him. His journey of faith, purpose, and personal growth was far from over.